culturali che svolge.
Grazie. Noi abbiamo preparato un PowerPoint in inglese e lo leggerò in inglese per essere certo di rispettare i tempi e di poter chiudere secondo i programmi. Vorrei anticipare soltanto con due parole in italiano. Questa è la conclusione di un momento avviato nel 2008 con un gruppo di studiosi firmatari di un protocollo d'intesa e di avvio di lavoro che dava 5 anni di tempo alla Fondazione per svolgere questa attività. Con la conclusione di quest'anno siamo arrivati a presentare quanto ci eravamo prefissati. Il primo firmatario avrebbe dovuto essere Andrzej Tomaszewski, cui abbiamo dedicato questo anfiteatro, un amico della Fondazione, potrei dire anche un padre della Fondazione, per me un fratello maggiore. E per cavalleria passò il foglio della sottoscrizione ad una collega italiana che era davanti a lui e la sua è la seconda firma, ma i firmatari sono circa 60, sono tutti in internet ed erano di 18-20 paesi. Era la conclusione di una nostra tavola rotonda. Il tema che presentiamo oggi è un tema pratico, un portale in cui vogliamo dimostrare che il patrimonio e il paesaggio devono servire molto per creare opportunità di dialogo in questo mondo che si avvia verso i 10 miliardi di abitanti. Il titolo è Patrimonio culturale e paesaggio, quali elementi per dialogo fra culture e sviluppo del territorio. Heritage and contemporary culture in the service of intercultural dialogue and territorial protection. Based on the philosophy of life beyond tourism, achieving its implementation at the international level with a new tool, the best practice non-profit cultural portal community, Life Beyond Tourism, and Web 2.0, in support of national institutions and of international organizations for putting heritage to use of social purposes. In compliance with the International Convention and Charters, siamo nel 40° della Convenzione del 72, quindi con la Convenzione della Comunità Europea del 2000, l'UNESCO del 72, l'UNESCO 2003, UNESCO 2005, Faro e Unità e Comunità Europea del 2011, le carte ICOMOS 99, ICOMOS 2008. Life Beyond Tourism is the fruit of the flower whose petals symbolize encounters, communication, knowledge, preservation, and economy. Born in Florence in more than 150,000 days of intercultural dialogue among youngsters with their docents from over 500 institutions and universities in 77 countries in the 5 continents. Let us examine the mission, strategy and tools of the Life Beyond Tourism philosophy. The mission, addressing a broad audience, exploring values of place, dialogue among cultures, respect for diversities. The strategy, the interest that cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible, arouses in the broader public. The tools, the tourist industry distribution chain. Life Beyond Tourism was presented for the first time in Baku in the conference 21st Century Historic Islamic Cities, then in Florence in Palazzo Vecchio, then in ICOMOS 28 and so on. In order to implement the Life Beyond Tourism philosophy at the global level, in the 2012 we produced a virtual platform Life Beyond Tourism Community Cultural Portal, where the region explores and promotes itself, a platform for dialogue to boost mutual intercultural knowledge, acquaintance, and familiarity between the public and private spheres. This platform, this portal, this community, Life Beyond Tourism, is a virtual space designed to host all those institutions, individuals, companies, professionals, practices, workshops who wish to subscribe to this philosophy and consider it capable of helping their activity to stand out in the crowd, having an impact on the broader public. Workshop. With Life Beyond Tourism, heritage and landscape are seen as a strategic workshop factor for knowledge and debate designed to foster growth in the demand for quality tourism, to further dialogue with the broader tourist audience in order to steer demand increasingly towards a form of tourism based on values rather than on the provision of mere consumer-based services. Growth in the supply of quality tourism to boost people's sensitivity towards the personality and character of a region that initially invites, then hosts mass tourism as its guest for players such as the public administration, those working in the tourist industry, and ultimately to the broader public living in the heritage environment itself. Life Beyond Tourism non-profit cultural portal and community with its own database, and here we symbolize the database with UNESCO site, and here we symbolize the database with the local cultural expressions, cultural institutions, and businesses representative of the place. So we have the network that we can imagine, we know, and with a search engine looking at heritage, we can organize all the network and all the solutions we think possible. This is an example of a page of the portal with the local cultural expression. Here we have some local cultural expressions taken in Japan, Kyoto Kimono Yuzen, Japanese garden, but looking at Italy, at Florence, we have used this example, the Uffizi, la città degli Uffizi, this idea of the director of Uffizi. We are, as foundation promoters, among the other promoters of this activity, and here we have Florence and all the towns around Florence who have already participated to this activity, and the network, and these are the catalogs of the exhibition that we have had, a museum in the territory. This is the list of the initiatives. The last one, 4 Saturdays ago, it was in Pruneta, the opening. Life Beyond Tourism for intercultural dialogue and respect for diversity is divided in research area, knowledge and know-how, activity area, dissemination and communication, and heritage income area, heritage as mobilization of resources, because all the system has to stand up by itself without begging money to any powers. So knowledge and know-how is open in advisory body with scientific and technical assistance, interpretation and presentation of the territories, and the third point, cultural biography of the place, and of course the database of traditional methodologies and knowledges with ITKI. The second, dissemination and communication, is online and on-site. Online, we have the portal. So the cultural non-profit portal divided with the cultural institutions and companies and the community users. And we use, of course, the database we are connected with the database of ICOMOS. This is the system, and we are connected, of course, with the database of ITKI, and we too maybe database for ITKI. And on site, of course, topics for heritage with UNESCO, cultural events, consultant and development, promotion of international relations and training. And now, income area, heritage as mobilization of resources. We have this support system, and it is this support system is organized in this way. We have one profit company using the tourism as services for tourism, and this profit company is owned for the 95% to all these non-profit organizations. And the 5% it is owned by the foundation, who is the promoter of all the system. So it is a no-profit holding. The references of the life beyond tourism are institutional references, academic and local authorities references, scientific references, operative references, and acknowledgements. I go on, of course, fast for this. All these are our references updated, and from these countries. And first conclusion, we think that the world today needs more humanity and less free-side chasing after an increase in consumer-based services and the adoption of standard international models. A long trick, but one in the pursuit of which primarily cities, and in particular those cities and environmental cities included in the UNESCO World Heritage List, can start once again to play the meaningful civic and moral role that many of them appear to have mislaid over the years. So let us start out again from the travel agencies and from those who deal in travel, urging them to encourage the tourist to reflect by asking him or her a simple question. Are you interested in a value-based tourism or only in a tourism based on the provision of consumer-based services? Second conclusion, key actions for the community portal and search engine, key actions for now, key actions for the future. For now, high profile for heritage and landscape. Second, appreciation of cultural diversity. For future, certification of tourist programs in a fully self-funding system, open both to the broader public and to the international scientific community in the field of tangible and intangible cultural heritage. About the certification of tourist programs, as members of the UNWTO, we have been in touch with the UNWTO headquarters with a view to forging cooperation in the field of certification for tourist programs designed to promote the use and enjoyment of cultural landscape and heritage for cultural dialogue, in a natural vision of their daily evolution and development over time, so that they can represent the chain of the key action for the global dissemination of the use and enjoyment of heritage and landscape for social purposes, so that they can make it easier to understand what cultures share over what differentiates them, so that they can help to foster interest in the preservation and knowledge of every region in its daily evolution, development, and context. Thus, in order to make mass tourism responsible and eager to safeguard heritage, rising it up from its current status as a fearsome consumer of that heritage. For this, we promoted and founded ITKI in Florence, the town where the European Landscape Convention was adopted in the 2000, International Traditional Knowledge Institute. All of this is already operational. All of this is already part of our heritage. All of this from Florence in the course of the ceremony to mark the 40th anniversary of the 1972 UNESCO Convention. The Fondazione offers these self-founding initiatives as a best practice to fuel a growing debate on the importance of the development of ties between the public and private sectors, of official recognition for the private institutions that pursue initiatives in the service of the community, and even more at this time if they are self-founding initiatives like this one. Thank you very much.